안녕하세요. 한국산업인력공단 서울해외취업센터입니다. 비즈니스 핀란드와의 라이브 토크에 관심 가져주시고 참여해 주셔서 진심으로 감사드립니다. 본 설명회는 저희 공단과 코트라가 공동으로 주관하는 2021년도 상반기 화상 면접 주간과 연계하여 3월에 이어 5월에 두 번째로 개최되는 월드잡 토크 콘서트입니다. 그리고 저는 오늘 토크 콘서트 진행을 맡은 한국산업인력공단 김하온 대리입니다. 만나 뵙게 되어 반갑습니다. 해외 취업 지원 사업에 대해 간략하게 안내해 드리도록 하겠습니다. 한국산업인력공단에서는 청년들의 해외 취업을 돕기 위해 구직 단계별 지원 프로그램을 준비 단계, 정보 제공, 해외 취업 연수, 해외 취업 알선, 그리고 취업 후 지원으로 나누어 제공해 드리고 있습니다. 해외 취업 준비 단계에서는 해외 취업을 어떻게 시작하고 준비해야 할지 막막하신 분들을 위해 현재 지금 진행되고 있는 것 같은 설명회, 해외 취업 설명회와 해외 취업 역량에 필요한 길러주는 해외 취업 아카데미를 운영하고 있습니다. 뿐만 아니라 월드잡플러스 운영을 통해 해외 취업, 인턴, 봉사 등 해외 진출과 관련된 통합 정보를 제공하고 있으며 국가 직종별로 어학과 직무 교육을 제공하여 취업까지 연계하는 K-무브 스쿨이라는 연수 프로그램도 운영 중에 있습니다. 여러분의 성공적인 해외 취업을 지원하기 위하여 채용 박람회 또한 지속적으로 개최하고 있으며 해외 구인 기업을 발굴하여 월드잡플러스의 구인 공고를 등록하고 있습니다. 월드잡플러스에는 저희 한국산업인력공단뿐만이 아니라 코트라, 무역협회, 그리고 알선기관 등 여러 기관들이 함께 구인 공고를 등록하고 있어 다양한 구인 공고를 확인하실 수가 있습니다. 또한 저희 공단에서는 해외 취업에 성공한 청년들을 대상으로 초기 정착 및 장기 근속을 위한 해외 취업 정착 지원금도 지급해드리고 있습니다. 지원 대상 및 요건 등 자세한 사항은 월드잡플러스 공지사항을 참고해 주시길 바랍니다. 추가로 저희 공단에서는 현재 서울, 부산, 군산, 그리고 통영, 국내 4개 도시의 해외 취업 센터를 운영하고 있습니다. 해외 취업 추가 정보를 희망하신다면 방문과 온라인 상담을 통해 해외 취업과 관련된 보다 더 자세한 정보를 얻으시길 바랍니다. 네, 간략하게 해외 취업 지원 사업에 대해 소개해 드렸습니다. 그럼 비즈니스 핀란드 코리아의 카운트리 디렉터인 수비 순드퀴스트님과 헤드 오브 탤런트 부스트 핀란드인 울라 히에카넨님의 강연을 듣도록 하겠습니다. Now, Suvi Sundquist, Country Director of Business Finland of Korea, will give a presentation introducing Finland. After that, there will be a presentation about Talent Boost program by Ulla Hiekkanen, Head of Talent Boost Finland. Ms. Suvi, would you please start your presentation when you are ready?
안녕하세요. Nice to meet you all. Welcome to Finland for this short session. Together with us. My name is Suvi Sundquist. I am Finland's commercial counselor here in South Korea. I moved from Helsinki to Seoul 10 months ago, and I've been talking a lot with Koreans about the similarities and differences between our countries. And I'll share you a little bit about Finland, and then my colleague Ulla will tell you about the work opportunities there. So welcome, step right in. Finland is one of the Nordic countries, together with Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Iceland. We are a republic like South Korea. We have 3 times the amount of land space that South Korea, but only 5.4 million people. So we have a lot of space. We too have worked hard for our economic position, and if I had more time, I would tell you about our history. It has surprisingly a lot in common with South Korea, so there's a connection that we feel right there. 22 billion trees, over 400 per person, almost 200,000 lakes, 3.2 million saunas. That is more than we have cars. And the one and only original Santa Claus lives in Finland. Other famous characters from Finland include the Moomins, Angry Birds, and on Korean TV, Vilppu and his friends, which is surprising to me because Vilppu and his friends are like average, regular, ordinary Finnish dudes. Finland is full of Vilppus, so if you like that type of personality, you will, I'm sure, like it in Finland too. Our capital, Helsinki, is accessed by a direct flight from Seoul and soon also from Busan. So looking forward to increasing that physical connection as well. We are ranked #1 in many nice things. The one that surprised us years ago was the happiest country ranking, which we have had several years now, because you may not see it from the Finnish people on the outside, but if you dig into deeper what makes us happy, it makes sense. The elements are there, and I'm going to show you some of them. We are the most stable country in the world. We do a lot of good around the world, which is, I understand, also something similar we share with Koreans. We have the cleanest country, best air quality, and we love technology. And that too, we are similar to Koreans, that we love to build new stuff and be at the edge of the best technology. We love our environment, and it is free for you to roam. We have snow and sea and lakes, and the woman down in the picture, she's probably picking blueberries. So organic superfood at your disposal as much as you like. And we too love hiking. So the gentleman on the rock, he's hiking. But the difference between hiking in Finland and South Korea is obviously that we don't have the people there. So that is our kind of Zen moment and mindfulness, and almost a religious experience for us to be alone in the wilderness and listen to ourselves. And we protect our environment also very much. That's why it's so clean. Like South Korea, we value education really highly, and we invest a lot in it. So that would interest you if you have family or you are planning to have family. Finland is a good country for that as well. It is free and is state of the art. We have recently put into our curriculum the future skills, things that employers also value. For example, teamworking, social skills, creative thinking, and these sort of things. And if you look at the atmosphere in these pictures, it's quite different than the South Korean school system, but it's as good. A few words on our leadership. To the left is our president, Sauli Niinistö. People call him by his first name, Sauli. And this, I think, is a good example of the low hierarchies that we have in Finland. So even the top level, the highest of the high, they like to be approachable. They want to be connected. So I think that's a good example. In the middle is our Prime Minister, Sanna Marin, and she raises a lot of interest in South Korea. People ask me, what's a country like where a 34-year-old woman can become Prime Minister? That's Finland for you. I'm sure we have a lot to work on still in terms of equality, but I think we have taken really good steps for all professional women. It's a really good place. On the right is then our sweet startup entrepreneurs. This is Ilkka Paananen and Mikko Kodisoja, founders of Supercell Gaming Company. And this is what modern business leaders look like in Finland. Down to earth, laid back. The startup ecosystem is booming, and these are the superheroes in Finland. You have K-pop, we have the startup entrepreneurs. They have taught us so much. They have challenged the government. They have challenged the big corporations in a good way. They have taught us about failure. We actually celebrate a National Failure Day in Finland. And they also taught us about the culture of giving back. So the society helped them when they had nothing, and now that they struck rich, they want to give back. So it becomes a really beautiful cycle. And the share of startups in Finland is quite big relative to the rest of the economy. Investments in startups are booming. And this is also something that Koreans often ask us, how do you do that? How did you create that? And you have to come and see. But this is also a real opportunity for you. Maybe it was not what you were thinking when you came into the session. You might be looking for a monthly paid job, but starting your own company is a real option in Finland. And it's gaining popularity with young people, especially because it's more street smart and cool way of being your own boss and making your own decisions. So highly popular nowadays. So it's also an option for you. We love innovation. So I encourage you, not only for Finland, but also for the other countries that you may be looking at, whatever industry you want to work in, look for the leading companies, because those will have international teams and those will be looking for international talents. So whether it's smart manufacturing or smart energy, maritime, health tech, green economy, you name it. And the lady in red, that dress is made from wood. So also material innovations. So you will find interesting companies at the edge of development that might be looking for you. A little bit about the culture. There's a comic strip called Finnish Nightmares by Karolina Korhonen, and it has Matti, the stereotype Finn. And here his nightmare is when someone sits next to you on public transport and they start speaking to you. And I think these resonate with the Koreans really well. I'm sure you can recognize this situation, that we have more in common than you think. So with that, I say 감사합니다. I hope to see you live one day, and please connect with me on LinkedIn. You can find me there, and that is the platform where the Finnish international jobs are posted and where people share them. So I would encourage you to be active on LinkedIn. And now I will give the floor to my colleague Ulla, who will tell more about the job opportunities. Thank you so much. 감사합니다.
So, good morning, good afternoon from Finland. We have a beautiful May weather. The sun is shining outside, and it's now about 20 degrees warm. And thank you very much for opening this presentation with the facts of Finland, Suvi. And I am now continuing with a little bit more details about how to come to Finland and what kind of job opportunities there are, and what are the different ways to find a career in Finland. And I'm really happy that we have 5 talented young people from Korea who are already in Finland and who will be sharing their experiences after my speech. So, as Suvi said, Finland is a country in the Nordic Europe, and actually Finland is in the middle of the gateway between Asia and Europe. So if you come to Helsinki or if you come to Finland, you're actually a very, very short route from anywhere else in the Europe. So this is your gateway to business, and also this is the gateway to the cultural life. So for instance, flights to Stockholm, 55 minutes, flights to London, 3 hours, Berlin, 2 hours. So coming here, it's not only Finland, but this is a gateway to the Europe. As Suvi said, we are a country where we love technology, and we also have lots of interesting companies who are developing the latest innovations to solve the wicked problems in the world. But the culture is not only about hard work, but it's also investing in your personal well-being, because we think that when people are relaxed and they are feeling well in their private lives, then they are most innovative and they are also most productive in the work. And one of the successes, like in Korea, in Finland, the companies and the individuals, they always want to learn more. And the companies invest a lot in the new skills and development of their employees. And as Suvi said, 4 years, consecutive years, Finland has been voted the happiest country in the world by the United Nations Happiness Study. It doesn't mean that we don't have problems. There are always things that we can do better in the society. And also in private lives, there may be unhappy moments for different reasons. But as a nation, this is something that where you can trust the society and you have a good quality life. Okay, if you're thinking about an interesting job in another country outside Korea, Finland is a very good place for you because this is one of the most innovative countries. So if you come to work in a Finnish company, you're going to be on the top of the technological innovation. We are a technology superpower in 5G, 6G, artificial intelligence, mobile technology, health tech, mobile tech, and so forth. Finland has been on the top of the employment education in the world. So the companies in Finland, they invest most money and time in the skills development of their employees. So coming to work in a Finnish company, you're most guaranteed to stay on top of the technology in your own field. And as I said, we have a high respect on the working hours because we think that the balance between working and the private life and family life is leading to more productivity and innovation. And I would definitely like to highlight the fact that in Finland, in companies and in business and in innovation, the women are equal with men. So this is a very good place also for women in science and women in technology fields to promote their careers. The Finnish working culture, there are some facts that are probably interesting to you. And as Suvi already mentioned, we have a very low hierarchy in Finland, in politics, but also in business and in companies. And the typical fact is that the managing director and your own bosses, you can always talk to them and you don't have to ask for a permission to talk. And one good example is that the managing director, sometimes they make the coffee if the coffee pot is empty. So they don't expect the others to serve them, but they are equal in the society and their doors are open for talking. Also, in Finnish companies, there is a very high trust in the employees. And this means that there is not a daily schedule, what you're expected to do, but you're expected to manage your own daily and weekly tasks by yourself. And the focus is very much on results. So what do you achieve in your job and what do you produce in your job, either yourself or together with your colleagues and with your team. This means that you're very free to organize your daily work and organize your weekly work and also select sometimes the partners that you are working with, and the teams are coordinating their own tasks among themselves. Digitalization has made it possible for us, even during the pandemic, to work effectively from home or remotely. And for instance, in our organization, Business Finland, I have not been in the office for only once in 12 months, but everything else is done remotely. And the digital tools and the web tools, they work perfectly, but there is always a trust from the boss that they don't need to follow your every minute, but they trust that you are doing your work independently. One typical characteristic of Finnish working culture is that we tend to keep the promise of the office time, and then after the office time, it's also the free time. So the typical working hours are from 8 to 4:30, or from 8:30 to 4:30 or 5. And it's quite normal that everybody goes home at 5 o'clock. Or if you're working remotely, then you would put your computer down and switch off your business emails at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. And then you have the whole evening for your family, your friends, your hobbies, to load your batteries and get some energy for the next day. In business and in companies, we dress very casually. Only in banking, probably, people wear suits or people wear ties. But if you meet customers, then you will put a more formal business suit, or you put a more formal business dress. But in the office, we dress fairly casually. And last but not least, in Finland, the most interesting discussions in the office, they take place where the coffee machine is. So we Finns drink a lot of coffee. And the chance that you meet with your colleagues by the coffee machine and you start talking about your work, or you generate new ideas, or you learn to know the colleagues from different departments a little bit better. This is a very important part of the Finnish culture. If you don't like coffee, you can always drink tea, but the meetings in the coffee area, they are very, very important part of the Finnish culture. And actually now when everybody's working remotely, it's very common that the teams, they organize virtual coffee meetings with each other, so that for instance, sometimes in the morning or sometimes after lunch, everybody's switching on their cameras and they drink coffee together. Okay, where do you find more information about working in Finland? We have a website which is called workinfinland.fi, which explains all the different possibilities to come to work in Finland. And there is also information about different regions, different formalities, and I suggest that you start from this website. The second important website is the Jobs in Finland. And here we have all the announcements of open jobs which don't require Finnish language. So these are all open jobs for Korean professionals and people from outside Finland. And you can search here jobs by region, so geographical area in Finland, or you can search jobs by your own expertise. The most jobs are at the moment in the ICT and digitalization and computing, but there are also jobs in research, some in manufacturing, some in medical research, and so forth. But this is the best way to browse the jobs. So which company is hiring and what are the positions? And then you can apply directly to the company. The visas and work permits, we have a special dedicated work permit for educated, highly skilled people coming from outside the European Union. And there's also a dedicated visa and work permit for startup entrepreneurs. And this is the workflow for the residence and work permit for any specialists. It all starts that you have a job offer from a Finnish company. So the job offer and you have that you have an employer in Finland is the first step. So that's why you need to start from the job search from our Jobs in Finland website. And then the application is processed in a digital way, and then you will be granted a residence and job permit, and then for 2 years to start with, and then you can extend that when you stay in Finland. As Suvi said, we are also a country for startups, and this is one way you can pursue your career and set up a company in Finland. There are some good reasons why Finland is a hotspot for technology startups. And to last but not least, this is the two things that I hope you will take from my introduction, my presentation, that browse the open jobs and see which are the companies that are hiring and what kind of positions are open at any moment. And other useful information is on our workinfinland.fi website. So on my behalf, thank you very much for giving this opportunity to talk about working in Finland to you. And now I'm handing back to Suvi and our Korean specialists who will be sharing about their experiences in Finland. Thank you so much. Thank you.
그리고 오늘 바쁘신 일정에도 마지막까지 참석해 주시고 함께 해 주셔서 지금 참석자 여러분들께도 진심으로 감사의 말씀 드리겠습니다. 만족도 조사 링크가 이제 저희 이거 설명이 끝나고 나서요 바로 문자로 도착할 텐데요. 만족도 조사에도 많은 참여 부탁드리겠습니다. 그리고 오늘 뭐 대부분의 실시간 Q&A는 여기 비즈니스 핀란드 팀에서 다 소화를 해주시기는 하셨지만요. 뭐 여기서 묻지 못했지만 궁금한 점이 있거나 하시는 분들은 저희가 지금 채팅방에 남겨드릴 비즈니스 핀란드 코리아 메일로 공식 메일로 보내주시면 저희가 친절히 답변 비즈니스 핀란드 쪽에서 친절히 답변 드리도록 하겠습니다. 그럼 다음에 다시 좋은 설명회로 찾아뵙도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 애써주신 강연자분들께도 진심으로 감사의 말씀 드립니다. 모두 수고 많으셨습니다. 감사합니다.